up with a mixed media tutorial using beautiful elements from Calico Collage. This is, oh goodness, the bingo cards, the stamps. I've got all kinds of stuff going on here with this one. And I will leave a link below to all of the items that I used from the Calico Collage shop. And what I'm working on here is a piece of chipboard, and it's pretty heavy, sturdy chipboard. They're from pads, like paper pads, and I just save them and create art on them because otherwise they just go in the garbage and are wasted. So that's what I do with these. So what I'm doing now is I'm tearing out a bunch of different elements from all of the Calico Collage things that I have printed, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere them to this piece of chipboard with Fluid Matte Medium by Liquitex, which happens to be my absolute favorite adhesive. I don't know, is that the right word? I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, but my favorite medium to use for collage elements. The reason being is because it's very, very thin and you can really spread it out quite easily with a paintbrush. And I find that's the easiest thing to use when you're collaging, is using a paintbrush. So that is why the Liquitex Matte Medium is my favorite. And then here I'm just kind of playing around where I want everything to go. I do struggle a little bit with this whole entire project, and I wasn't sure if I should still share it because I struggled with it so much. And in the end, it didn't even end up looking the way I had wanted it or expected it to look. Um, but it's made, and I figured I might as well go ahead and share the process because there's still techniques in here that are great for using in mixed media. In hindsight, the biggest thing that I wish I had done was take a picture of the way I had everything laid out. I did not take a picture of this, and what ended up happening is everything didn't go back quite the way I had it laid out, and that part of it bothered me a little bit. So tip number one with this is take a photo of the way you have your collage elements laid out, so that way you put them back where they're supposed to go. It wasn't too terribly off, but it definitely was not what I wanted. And I think what I'm going to do also for April is print these numbers out again and use the numbers for a gratitude journal in April. With the way the world is right now and with everything that everybody is going through, not just me, but everybody in the world, we're all going through this pandemic together. I feel that maybe keeping a gratitude journal in the month of April is something that will help me get through this, because the struggle is real, and I know the struggle is not just real for me, it's real for everybody. So those numbers with the beautiful florals and birds and everything on there might be just the thing I need for my gratitude journal in April. So I might just go ahead and print those out today because it is the end of March, and snip them all up and use them for a 30 days of thankful for the month of April. Um, which I think, like I said, will be good for me to just really pay attention to things to be grateful for. As bad as things are, as you know, whatever happens with the business, whatever happens with my honey's job, we will still have things to be grateful for, and I need to remember that. So let me jump off of my soapbox now and talk about what I'm doing. With this being chipboard, I will say, because the chipboard is going to really absorb my matte medium, it is really, really good to have a good amount of it on the board, because the chipboard just soaks it all up. So you're going to see me having good amount of it, and then lifting it up in areas and adding more, because I really want these papers to be stuck down, and that's not going to happen unless I have a good amount of this matte medium here on the board. Hopefully I don't run out, and if I do, hopefully I'll be able to get more from Amazon, because I have been using it quite a bit lately. Um, so yeah, let me again get off of my soapbox there. So what you saw me doing with my finger was just pushing the paper down into the chipboard because it wasn't adhering enough. And then this tissue paper is old tissue paper from Tim Holtz. I still have a ton of it, and I use it when I have gaps like this that I need to fill up. Sometimes I use it on a whole entire spread. It just depends on my mood. So I go through this entire process and then I come back. I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I lost footage of me using the stencils. So really quick, what I did was I have three stencils that I used on this spread. I used a tree stencil, and then I used a Tim Holtz heart stencil, and then a star stencil that I had in my stash. The hearts and the stars are done with a heavy gel. In hindsight, I should have used my really heavy gel that I have, because they would have been more prominent, and I didn't do that. But in the end, you do end up seeing uh, the elements that I have on here. So I have hearts, this beautiful tree, which I used with a old Heidi Swapp product, that's supposed to be like, oh my goodness, what do you call that? I can't think of the word. It's not gel. Texture medium. There you go. It's a pink texture medium that I used for the tree, and then a heavy gel for the stars. And then all I'm doing here is spraying this down with, I sprayed it with Nuvo Mica spray, which is a new spray that I haven't used before. It was way lighter than I expected, and there went my oops. I spilled this all over there. And thank goodness my honey had come down and was handing me baby wipes to mop that up. So I used a Nuvo Mica spray, and then I'm using some Lindy's shimmers and some shimmers spray, but the nozzle was clogged, and I was really trying to bring out my gelled areas. Again, if I had used the really golden heavy gel that I have in my stash, the stencil would have been more prominent. But you can see them here as I'm adding the darker color. You can see the stars there, and you can see the hearts popping through. And it's one of my favorite techniques. I just didn't use the right colors, y'all. I really just did not, to get the effect that I was going for. So in a minute here, you're going to see me, I'm drying all of this, and then I'm going to come in with a baby wipe and try and wipe the spray off of the gelled areas. And normally this would have worked, but there's too much pattern going on here. There's too much color in the background. The sprays that I used are not dark enough to really give me the look that I'm going for. So, like I say, it just, the whole spread did not turn out the way I had wanted it to turn out. But I continue with this push and play of adding paint, well, not really paint, but these little sprays that are water reactive, so they will mop up off of the gel medium, which is supposed to kind of create like a resist for me. And it's working, it's just not working in the way that I had wanted. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw on some music and let you watch this push and play that I do here between the sprays. I was bringing in some blue spray here to gain some contrast, and I kind of ended up getting what I wanted, but not really, and you'll see all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you're doing well during this time. If you have any questions about this video and these techniques, please leave me a comment down below. And please like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. I really would appreciate it. Alrighty, that's it for me. Bye.